Hi everyone and welcome to this week's edition of Catherine Lorimer's Guide to Life podcast. Okay, so I've had to leave it as late as possible to record this week's news rant, January news rant, mainly because there's just so much news. And at times, if I'm honest, it's been a little bit too much for me to take it all in. There's just so much going on in the world. Starting with today, Doomsday Book apparently is now set at 85 seconds to midnight. And when it hits midnight, we're all going to die. Okay, and that's the end of the world as we know it. So we're now just waiting for Jesus to make a reappearance. Or maybe he's already here, or she is already here. Who knows? Who knows what's going to be coming in the future? Anyway, for now, back to normality. So, right, what happened in the news this week? So, palliative, end-of-life care in hospital is a major crisis. No shit, Sherlock. Yeah. Basically, hospices are struggling with funding because governments have removed the grants, and they've also had to cope with the cost in NI for their staff. So they're really struggling under a lot of pressure, which means that the care of the elderly patients or palliative patients are having to be admitted to hospital where there aren't enough spaces, so they're in corridors. So it's a complete disaster. You know, hate to say told you so, but we could see this one coming. And no one's done anything about it. So it's, you know, it's really frustrating. Honestly, there was the Constellation ski bar, horrible fire in Switzerland, loads of young people unfortunately killed, 119 injured with life-changing burn injuries. That's going to be absolutely horrific. Really thinking of those people. And some of them were as young as 14, you know, just enjoying New Year's Eve at night out. It looks like it was started from sparklers in champagne bottles, which hit the roof and there's only one escape exit, which is just horrific. Now, Labour. How are Labour doing? Well, they're backtracking on most of their policies. Great to see, you know, they're sort of like standing in place. So they've seen sense on inheritance tax on farms, okay, which is good. Because otherwise we probably were all going to die of starvation and famine pretty soon. Because basically, let's face it, if there is another war, we need to be able to produce stuff at home. We need to be all set up for that. Given the UK, say actively preparing for war, they're increasing the age of reservists from 65 to 55, which will ensure they will have army personnel with knowledge and expertise in active warfare, which also makes it easier calling people up to war as well. Okay. Apparently, I heard, I don't know if this is actually true, but apparently we don't have an army unless we have 110,000 troops, and apparently we only have 80. So now with all this, we have potentially an army. And let's have a little look. Labour are also backtracking on ID cards because they realise it's just not going to work. You'll need a passport as a document, okay, in order to work in the UK, which is already the case. You should already be showing your employer your passport to work anyway. So that one really made me laugh. I'm like, yeah, okay, that's good. It's like, whatever. They're also trying to ban trail hunting with dogs, assuming that it's only Tory voters who do that. Actually, it's a mixed group of people who do that. I've never done trail hunting. So it's, but I have to say, isn't it a great use of time and money spent on something that's not actually policeable? Haven't the police got better things to do than to be trying to catch somebody who's on a horse chasing a fox? I'm sorry, but, you know, I mean, how many fox hunting convictions have we actually seen? Although I did see actually in our local paper that someone's dog, someone was up in court because their dog was sheep worrying, which is good because it's a major problem. And but it just seems like a bit of a pointless law. I mean, I think, have they got something better or more important to be doing? You know, at the end of the day, we've got all these children that are, you know, being killed from like their parents because social workers aren't protecting. Shouldn't we be concentrating on that rather than the fox who goes around killing chickens, you know, and he won't just take one or kill all of them? We just seem to be really obsessed in this country with wrong things. I mean, yeah, great. Fox is really nice to animals and everything, and it is really sad that hounds chase them. But at the end of the day, they kind of kill everything in sight, and they, you know, it's just like, so just think we've got it wrong sometimes. Andy Burnham, he's not allowed to stand for election. Well, that's an epic fail, isn't it? of monumental proportions. Okay, Reform will be laughing all the way to the pub on that one. But a lot of Tory and Labour MPs do seem to be defecting to Reform, which seems a bit ironic. I would say Robert Jenrick, has been sacked for plotting to join Reform. Seems like a great way to gain the trust of Farage and see what's going on to me. But maybe I've just seen too many episodes of Yes Minister. One thing, though, that is for sure, when Reform do get in, at least there'll be a lot of Labour and Tory experienced MPs already in the party, so we don't have to worry too much. But obviously Reform are there for change. How can we have change if we've got a lot of Tory and Labour MPs in the party who have been there and done it before? Just saying. Hey, it's just my opinion. Okay, so what's been going on elsewhere? There's been a massive storm in the States, loads of snow. Apparently it's heading our way, Mother says. So she must be right. Usually it's about 2 weeks later we get their weather, don't we? And it's a pretty bad storm as well. Hopefully everyone's okay. Ice, what's been going on in the States? Okay, moving west. Ice have killed 2 innocent Americans in Minneapolis. I didn't really watch the video footage. I didn't really want to see somebody being killed on social media. I'm not sure that's really particularly something that we should be watching and something that children should have access to anyway. But hey, there's been lots of protests over the issue, understandably. It's a bit like, for me, as a Westerner, okay, having studied history, it's a little bit like watching Nazi cleansing, watching all these ICE agents chucking all the foreigners out. I find it slightly alarming, and it's clear that the US is becoming very unstable. And I definitely won't be going on holiday there over there this year, which is a shame because actually I really wanted to go to New York, and my cousin's he's actually going to go there. Hope you're having a nice time, cuz. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a little bit unstable for me, Right, so also say news ramp. I'm going to have an extra bit this month. And I'm going too quickly, aren't I? I'm waffling on too quickly. I've already gone through most of it already, and I'm only 8 minutes in. Oh, can you tell I'm in a hurry? Yeah. I'm like cramming this in amongst everything else that I'm trying to do. I did actually have to, I messaged someone the other day and I said, she wanted to speak to me about something, and I'm just like, right, okay, I'm doing blah, 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 blah. I'm really, really busy. As in the hint, I don't think I can do this any longer. And I said I can call you 2 weeks on Monday. I think that's okay. I'll pencil it in my diary before anything else comes up. It's great to be busy, but sometimes, but I'm not being too bad. It's just things that are kind of coming up last minute, and it's things like, training for things, the pony, sorting out what I want to do, and but sometimes I actually need to remember that I do need to allow myself time to breathe. Okay, but then again, on the other side of things, if the world is going to end very imminently, then at least I'll have crammed everything into it, before it ends. There we go. Yeah, so here I am creating some paintings that, you're thinking maybe you're going to be there forever, but actually you don't know how long forever is, do you? No. Unless everything calms down a bit, but it is a bit unstable and volatile, the entire world at the moment. Starmer's gone to China. People have criticised that. The Conservatives have criticised that. Idiots. We want to be linking with China. They're a big superpower. Trump is no longer stable. Okay, we can't rely on the States. We have to link with China. There's no other thing for it. We have to make sure we're one of China's important trading parties. It's a no-brainer on that one. Also, it's the fact that everything's much cheaper to produce in China. Just in case anything happens in Europe, the Europeans are looking, that's another thing as well. Yeah, there's this party poncing around in Switzerland, wasn't there, where they're all kind of like, off skiing and then speak for a bit. And what's his face from France? Yeah, he had their sunglasses on inside and everyone's going, why is he wearing sunglasses inside? Why is it? That might be important later. Right. So So I've got a new section, okay, in my little news rant podcast. It's called "What's Trump Done Now?" And I can't guarantee that I'll get everything because he changes his mind like the wind. This guy. I mean, the only thing I will say is he's obviously listened to a podcast. Okay, I'm a Tango Man reference because he's now looking more yellow than orange, don't you think? He's now looking more like he's a bit jaundiced, maybe a bit of liver damage there. Maybe that's why he's getting a bit crazy. I don't know. But, and is that a wig? Discussions, you know? Can someone please tell me? Yeah. I'm thinking Bart Simpson. Yeah, he's looking more like Bart Simpson or maybe Homer Simpson now. With the hairstyle, the yellow hairstyle and the yellow face. Definitely more like Bart Simpson. Anyway, he wants Greenland, you know, because he's got to have it for military purposes. To protect the United States of America. I mean, come on, guy. Just put some more troops over there and, you know, it's just... And he's taken Venezuela, yeah, because that's allowed, you know, broken all international laws. He zoomed in, picked up the leader. He, in fairness, isn't a particularly nice bloke. But you can't do that. You can't just go in and take the leader of another country. And everyone, not Europe's just sort of standing back going, what do we say? What do we do about this one? Oh my God, what's he done now? But if we go against him, he's massive and he's got troops everywhere and he's part of NATO. And yeah, and what do we do? Yeah, well, anyway, it's just, it's beyond belief. I mean, if it were a film, we'd be laughing at the kind of sheer, insanity of it all. But this is real life. This is happening. So Trump wants Greenland. We've got to have it. He's under negotiations to having it. I think basically what he does is he comes along and says, right, we've got to have Greenland. I'm going to take Greenland. I've just taken Venezuela and I've got all the oil and I've done a big deal with my mate and he's got millions of dollars. This guy's made $1.2 billion while in office. Typical narcissist or sociopath or whatever. Psychopath. I don't know. He's definitely on some kind of path. That's for sure. Anyway, so that all they seem to be sort of coming to some kind of agreement because that was last week and this week it's all quieting down. Maybe he's gone on holiday. I don't know. Although he has pissed off, most of the UK population with his comments that we didn't fight on the front line, and anybody else that fought on the front line, anybody else of NATO, it'd have pissed them off as well. We lost 400 troops, over 400 troops, and I knew it was a big deal because my mate Andy never posts much on Facebook, and he had a right rant. And I thought, yeah, it's pissed people off. This has. And what about the families and friends? And let's face it, we're always kind of the forefront of enemy lines. You know, the Americans have got all the equipment, and we've got all the brains and the nous and the courage, and off we go. You know, showing them what to do. People are calling for the king to the trip to United States to be cancelled. I agree with that, actually, because he's the head of the army. I think US is becoming a little bit unstable. They could pull out for that reason. And also, you can't negotiate with Trump. He won't apologise. He only responds to power and status. So to cancel a high-status trip would probably be the only way that you can kind of actually maybe get through to him. I don't know. But then again, you kind of want to keep your enemies close, don't you? Because at the moment, let's face it, he's kind of behaving a bit more like an enemy than he is a friend. Okay, so new on this section as well. I noticed the North Wales Police have put up like a reward offering for information in the arrest in connection with a body that's been found, or a body that was found in Clocaenog Forest. So Clocaenog Forest, try saying that with my teeth in, Clocaenog Forest, okay? I've actually been to Clocaenog Forest at night, yeah. They used to do all-night walks there, and Mother and I stewarded it once. It was very boring. We sat in a car for all night, staying awake, sort of people came and, checked in with us, and then they carried off. I was thinking about doing it, and then I got there and I thought, no, do you know what? I don't think I'll bother. I'm not really keen on the dark. But Clocaenog is a massive... So anyway, so this body was found in 2015, okay? But Clocaenog is a massive forest, okay? And it's in the middle of nowhere. It's kind of near Ruthin, which is a really nice place, as there's like a really nice private school there. Or is it private school? But I think it is. But so it's not really. It's not like so. For example, if my sort of cousins and that would come up from London, it'd be like, right, okay, let's all go up Mulvama, okay, which is the local hill in Wales near Moulds. We'd all do that. Never would we say, let's go to Clocaenog Forest. So the only people that probably know that it's actually there are people who have been walking there, people who have maybe been on because it was found by someone who'd been there to see the rally event. So a rally event or someone who's local. It's quite limited, the people that actually probably know it's there and have been there. But it is a massive place. And one thing's for sure, if you're leaving a body in Clocaenog Forest, it is so vast. I'm thinking in comparison of this to Fenwick, where the police are still trying to look for somebody who was left on Fenwick Moor. And the people were locked up for killing him, but they've never actually found the body because it is just such a vast place. So if it was left in a vast place, I'm guessing they really didn't want him to be found. And it'd been there a while. It was estimated he died between 2004 and 2010. Well, that's a 6-year window, isn't it? 6-year window. Okay. So he had serious injuries. It was definitely a murder. And his teeth had been knocked out before he was killed. Okay, so there's a face fit on my Instagram site. It's also on Crime Stoppers. So let's just go back and have a look. So found in 2015 by some people who were camping ahead of the kind of Grand Prix thing. Not Grand Prix, but whatever it is, the motor. I can't think of the name, but the motoring competition, that kind of rally driving. That's it. One of the rally championships was going to be there. And as I say, so he had his teeth knocked out before he was killed. Right, so you've got sort of things on this. So either in my mind he was a boxer, okay, or maybe some kind of bouncer, or he had his teeth knocked out before he was killed and he was driven there. Because also apparently he was quite a kind of sort of like a biggish guy. So you kind of think, well, if he was a biggish guy, he was either meeting somebody there, but it seems a bit of a strange place to meet somebody in Clocaenog Forest. Doesn't really sort of seem as if that would fit. And so there's a possibility then that, if he's a big guy, you've got to have had more than one guy there to get him into the car, to get him there in the first place. So it's looking gang related, isn't it, realistically? So there is a face fit on my Instagram site and on Crime Stoppers, and he looks really familiar to me, but I don't know him, or at least I don't think I know him. Not that I can recall anyway, but so I'm thinking maybe it's the look of him, and maybe he looks Scottish, possibly Glaswegian. He had a V-neck shirt on, okay, which were fashionable in Glasgow around that time from French Connection. He was in good shape. He's quite muscular, clearly worked out. So there must have been people who went to the gym with him, okay? Got to have been. And as I say, if he's been left there, people don't want him to find him, but how would you know where to leave him? So that's kind of a thingy, well, it's clearly not somebody local, is it? Because let's face it, if it was somebody out walking, then he would have been reported missing. If it was a local person, they would have been reported missing. There have been searches. So he's got to be not local. He's got to be from further afield. From wherever he is, and so it took a long time for the body to be found. So, I just do think that because he was in such good shape, possibly more than one person involved getting him there in the first place, which would fit an abduction, which may have been where he lost his teeth. It would suggest some kind of gang involvement. I remember the Glasgow drugs gang, as I say, used to dispose of bodies in forests, particularly around Fenwick. And because they say there's an English drug courier that was never found on the Fenwick Moor. So yeah, that's an interesting one. So go and have a look. I'm gonna hopefully because I've got like friends all over the place. I've got friends in Scotland and England and Wales. So hopefully you guys will all have a look at this photo fit and see whether or not you think that there might be a connection somewhere. If he worked out, if he was quite muscular, then you'd think that he would have gone to a gym. So if you cast your mind back, was there anybody in the gym wherever you are? I don't know, Liverpool, Manchester, Glasgow. Let's go with the big boys. And have a think about whether or not anybody disappeared from the gym. It's a long time on now. Connections will have changed. You might want to come forward and say who it is, just so we can get this guy buried back home to his family. Okay, so it's a fairly short one today. I know. I razzed through it probably at the speed of light. Hopefully not talking too quickly. I do apologise if I was. Anyway, I hope you have a good week. I feel like I'm a bit on Crime Watch now. I want to say, don't be too scared. There's probably no serial killers out there, but then again, there might be. Who knows? But anyway, I'll catch you next time.